With the horrific history that DC's had at the box office over the past year, it's safe to say that almost everyone thinks that Aquaman 2 will be more of the same. Despite the fact that this is a sequel to a billion-dollar movie, no one believes that they're going to be able to replicate those results. And in fact, people think it's already dead in the water. And I don't think James Gunn is helping matters at all. One of the reasons that so many of these DC movies have flopped at the box office has been in part because of the James Gunn reboot. After they announced, hey, James Gunn's coming in, he's going to do a reboot of the universe, but it's been very unclear as to what stays, what goes, what characters are still going to be the characters they were, what storylines are going to matter. Well, James Gunn is once again making it crystal clear why you shouldn't care about some of these movies just a few months before Aquaman 2 comes out. James Gunn kills Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom in its cradle by declaring nothing is canon until Creature Commandos. DC Studios CEO James Gunn decided to abort James Wan's upcoming Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom film by declaring that no DC properties until Creature Commandos will be canon. Gunn recently made his declaration in a response to a confused Threads user. I think everyone who's using Threads is probably confused. I didn't know anyone was actually on that platform still. Who asked him, "You said DC Studios movies and canon start with Superman Legacy. I and many others are still confused. Are the returning actors playing new versions of the same characters? Is this a J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah situation?" Here's what James Gunn says. Nothing is canon until Creature Commandos next year, and then a deeper dive into the universe with Superman Legacy after that. It's a very human drive to want to understand everything all the time, but I think it's okay to be confused on what's happening in the DCU since no one has seen anything from the DCU yet. Well, then some people were very quick to point out, okay, you've said that this actor's still going to be there. You said that this actor's still going to be there. You've also said, remember this, Blue Beetle will be the first character in the new DC universe, James Gunn confirms. I mean, the first DCU character for sure is Blue Beetle, and the first full DCU movie is Superman. That certainly didn't help anyone get invested in that movie. Blue Beetle is another flop for them at the box office. When he talked about all the connections that maybe the Flash would have to potential old DCEU and new DCU. Did it work for that? That certainly didn't work for that either. So I guess now James Gunn is just going with, hey, it's okay to be confused about the future of DC. Just go out and enjoy the movies. Something makes me think that won't exactly work out either. He does add on, and yes, some characters will be playing characters they've played in other stories, and some plot points might be consistent with plot points from the dozens of films, shows, and animated projects that have come from DC in the past. But nothing is canon until Creature Commandos and Legacy. So yes, you're going to still have some same actors playing their roles, but what happened before may or may not matter. Do you understand why this is so confusing to people and why, despite you being okay with everyone being confused, James Gunn, it leads to people not being invested with what you want to do? And he even addresses that later on. Somebody says, I'm wondering, how does the Blue Beetle movie factor in at this point? You said it was included, but some statements are conflicting. Zolo Maridueña will continue playing Blue Beetle in the DCU, as Viola Davis will be Amanda Waller, and John Cena will be Peacemaker. No hint on Gal Gadot at all, despite recent reports. And someone asked, why should we invest in this universe if we don't have any knowledge of what the fuck is going on? If you think of anything as investing time and effort, no matter what shared universe, you definitely shouldn't be. Each story should be enjoyed and worth partaking in and of itself without its attachment to an outside world. If it feels like homework, screw it. Shared universes should add fun to the individual stories, not the other way around. The individual stories and characters are much more important to me than the connections between them. Although I understand what he's saying, and he's right in terms of every movie you should be able to enjoy as a standalone thing. But the shared universe aspect absolutely helps you get more from something and feel like you're more connected to a lot of pieces of that universe. The idea that James Gunn, while people are saying, hey, it's hard to get invested in these fucking movies if we don't know anything about them and you don't reveal anything and we're all confused as shit. Well, if you feel like you need to be invested in anything, just don't worry about it at that point. Everything that James Gunn says or does seems to backfire in some way until people actually have clarity on the situation, what stays, what goes, what is and what is not relevant from the past. these things are going to continue to pop up, and James Gunn is not handling it very well in a lot of people's opinions. In all likelihood, this just further decimates any chance Aquaman 2 had of being successful. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.